How's it going, y'all? So in this video, I'm talking about still linear equations in these, but depending on the question they give you, there could be certain key phrases or certain things that they're giving you that we have to be observant about, and we have to look at how we can construct things depending on the vocabulary they give us. So the vocabulary that I speak of is going to be, I'm going to start listing them out. So vertical line is the key word for us. Horizontal line is a keyword for us. Slope of zero is a keyword for us. Slope is undefined is a keyword for us. Undefined is a keyword for us. Slope is equals to zero. Horizontal line, vertical line. There may be a couple more as I write this down. As I go through them, you'll kind of see that I'll start listing some more out. Now the idea is that we still want to write it in the equation of a line. So obviously we know that the equation of a line at this point would be y is equal to mx plus b. But now we have to interpret depending on what the information gives us, so that it lets us know what we work with. So in the first one we see here, it says determine the equation of a vertical line passing through the point negative 8, 9. So when we look at this, you're given a vertical line. So one way to illustrate this, or one way to understand what we're working with, so I'll write it down here. So for the first problem, we have vertical line, and then we have the point negative 8, 9. So when you're looking at it based off a graph, I'm going to go ahead and plot. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means I have a point out here, negative 8, 9. But there's a vertical line that is running through this. So then we notice that, okay, we got this vertical line that's running through it. Well, that asks us, so the next question we have to ask ourselves, does it have slope? So the first question I have to ask is, does it have slope? Well, based off of what we know from images of slope, from what we understand of rate of change, changes of y, changes of x, as we can see, we have a vertical line. So that tells us that on the denominator, we're going to see that if we were to get a couple of these points, because remember, the idea of building up a line is that you have 2 points. Well, essentially, you can use multiple points. So I can get multiple points from here and check the values to see, hey, what's going on in between these numbers, to see what's happening between my x's or my y's. So if you actually do it, we could try it out. So I'm going to use the point negative 8, 9, and I'm going to use another point. So this would be my x1 and y1. So the next point I'll use is, I'm going to say negative 8, 0, because that just needs to be on the bottom right now. So I'm just clicking the point that's down here. That would be on the x-axis. So based off of this, let's check out what it is using the slope formula. So if we had the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And this is my x2, sorry. x2 and then y2. So when we place the information, we'll see that on the top you'll have 0 minus 9. And on the denominator, we'll have negative 8 minus negative 8. So when we start to simplify the problem, we'll see that we have negative 9 over negative 8 plus 8, which just reduces down to negative 9 over 0. So what we see here now is that since we have a 0 on the denominator, that lets us know one thing, that this is undefined. So this is why I told you all that you needed more vocabulary based off of this. So a lot of the thing when it comes to like linear equation is the vocabulary towards it. So keywords will help you to solve the problem quicker without having to read. Very, very drastic. So if we pick up on context clues or certain words, we can kind of understand what we're doing. So based off of this, since I know it's undefined, well, the idea is that if I know that the slope is undefined, then it's telling me that it's not going to work through it. There's nothing that's physically going to run. There is no slope to this. So the idea is, what is the equation of the line that passes through there? Well, what's the only value that's keeping the same? So if I list it on the table, you'll notice that negative 8s turn out to be the only number that stays the same. So when we write this, we're going to write this as the solution as x is equal to negative 8. Now, the explanation took longer than the actual solution to this problem, but in order to solve it, you needed to actually understand the definitions behind what the slope is, what undefined would be. So depending on the question, depending on what we're given, so if it tells us it has a vertical line, so the idea is like, if I am given that as a vertical line, then we can trait that for an undefined slope. Then we can trait that to know that, oh, my equation would be x is equal to whatever the coordinate point is. So if I look back at the coordinate point, -8, 9, you choose the x coordinate point at this point. So you'd say x is equal to -8. So that's based off of just the equation on this. So on the next video, I'll talk about part B of this one, and hopefully we'll start building more through the examples, more explanations on why it works a certain way.